I'm Steve Horrell and this is the Great British Chef Signature Series. The style of cooking is rustic, it's seasonal, fresh, and it's just unfussy. We have our own farm at the restaurant and we've got a very close relationship with the stockman and the farmer. The garden, the produce writes the menu for us. Where we're working now, it's great to have the control over the ingredients, and we choose what we want. We know we only have the best. That's a great aspect of it. Okay, so we're going to do this this dish. We call it Pavlova. We're going to have chappa cooked peaches. So the peaches are going to be dipped in demerara sugar, and then onto the chappa. So they're going to caramelize up. So first of all, I need to cut the peaches in half. Just twist it around. Demerara sugar. Each half gets dipped in. I just think it's a nice way of caramelizing up these peaches. You know, a lot of this cooking outside on the fire, on the grills, on the chappas, it's all about the theatre of food. So, you know, we wouldn't be cooking this behind closed doors. There'd be people walking around asking you questions, you know, what you're doing, how you're cooking that. And it's just a nice way of interacting with guests, with friends. So that's the peaches in half, dipped in the demerara. So we're going to take this over to the chappa and cook them off. So the chappa is just like a roasting tray on legs. And the beauty of this is, if we want to cook straight on a fire, you can light a fire and cook on it straight away. You're not waiting for the flames to die down to coals. And it's great for caramelizing peaches, you know, searing pieces of fish on here. You can do potatoes and things. So it's a real versatile piece of kit. So we can feel the heat here. So we're going to put these on. Just make sure they've got plenty of sugar on them. So now we just pushed the coals back, pulled the chappa forward so it's not over the direct heat, and we're just leaving these peaches just on the edge just to soften up. They've done their caramelization and now we just want them to go a bit softer. So now I'm making the meringue. So with a vanilla pod for the meringue, I just cut it in half and then I just cut it down the length like so, and then scrape the beans out like that, and then they're going into this pan with a little bit of water in, and then the vanilla pod goes into the water, a little splash of cider vinegar, and then I'm just going to warm this up. This needs to be hot water, so I'm just going to put it on the fire now. So now we can go on to doing our eggs. You just want there to be egg whites, and make sure your bowl is nice and clean. There's no fat in there, or your egg whites won't, you know, whisk up. They won't become nice and fluffy. And now I'm going to go over to the mixer, and I'm going to add the sugar and some corn flour, just gradually while the egg yolks are whisking. The vanilla helps with the flavour of the meringue, and the vinegar is an acid, so that helps keep the egg whites white. So now my meringues are you know, nice stiff peaks there. These are now ready to go onto the baking tray and into an oven. I always like to just glue my silicone paper to the tray so it doesn't slide around everywhere. So you just have to sacrifice a little bit of your meringue mix, and then this will stop the paper from sliding around. I'm going to do 2 pavlovas. Try not to knock the air out of it, because that's what you've just been in these lovely soft. So once you've got 2 longish shapes like this, I just go along with the spoon, because what you want to try and create is a little you know, a little nest. Once you've got that little nest, it's just quite nice just to spike it up a bit. These are catch. Now these go into the oven for an hour. And now off to go and get strawberries and raspberries from the bed up the top. So we're just going to look for some strawberries now. Right, next I'm going to just cut these garden strawberries in half, and we're going to add them to the peaches that are on the chappa now. So this is purely just to soften them up a little bit, get the juices coming out. So next I've got, we're going to do some whipped cream, soft whipped cream for the pavlova. So with this, I just use double cream. Cream's in there, and then rather than using caster sugar or icing sugar, I just used a little bit of runny honey, and that will add a little bit of sweetness to it. So that's the cream, nice soft whip, a little bit of honey in there, so there's a little bit of sweetness in there, and that's ready to go. So these are ready now, nice and soft. I mean, you can smell those strawberries in that syrup. So good. So while these peaches and strawberries are still warm, I'm just going to pick a few blossoms over them, just to kind of colour, flavour. So we just let those cool down now. So this is the Pavlova, the meringue. As you can see, this one's quite a sticky, chewy one. But I mean, don't worry about that because we can cover that up. So next we have the cream. You know, again, we're just going to be kind of building this up. So some of this lovely soft whipped cream. Never enough cream. I got some of this lovely vanilla ice cream. A good friend of ours from Brickles. So on go the peaches and the strawberries with a few of the blossoms in there. Some of the fresh garden raspberries. And then we've got these great caramelised pecan nuts. You boil your pecans in the sugar syrup, take them out the sugar syrup, strain them off, and then you add them to a fryer or a friture, you know, a hot pan of oil, and you just fry them off, let them go golden brown. So we call these the candied pecans. So I've got some white chocolate here. Basically, I just chopped up some white chocolate in a bowl over a pan of water. We melted it down and then cooled it in the fridge. So we've got these nice kind of shards of white chocolate poking out. There in there, a few bits of the old mint. That's our Pavlova with the chappa peaches, garden strawberries, raspberries, candied pecans and white chocolate.